Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to MileHighDiscussions. My name is Hugh O'Bryan. I'll be one of your hosts today. Today we're going to be talking about dreams, so stay tuned. First, I'll introduce our guests.
I'm Izzy Sloan. I'm a senior at East High School.
I'm Langston Hood, and I'm also a senior at East High School.
I'm Izzy, and I'll be your second host for today. And today we're going to talk a little bit about dreams, the ones when you're asleep.
Yeah, so...
Just wanted to clarify.
Exactly, yeah. So have you guys had any really unique or sort of crazy dreams?
Yeah, so this is one that I remember pretty distinctly from when I was young, which is kind of funny. But so I was at home, and my dad just got out of the shower, and our backyard, we have a deck, and for some reason we had very vicious dogs under the deck, and there are also very large ladybugs in our backyard. And my dad came outside and was really angry at me, and he took the ladybugs and squished them and threw them down to the dogs. And then I woke up crying.
What?
Yeah.
Izzy, what the heck?
What does it mean?
So
I don't know. Yeah, what
happened,
could that mean?
Recently prior to that dream?
I have no idea.
You have no clue?
This was when I was 10. And I just
that's
stuck with me the whole
terrifying. Why do you think you had that dream?
I don't know.
Are you?
I really actually don't know. Maybe I was upset or angry, or maybe my dad was angry at me. And it just, yeah.
You guys have
What about the
any other thoughts?
the ladybugs? What do you think
ladybugs,
that
yeah.
signifies?
I don't know. I really have no idea. I've thought about this a lot, actually.
Huh. Interesting.
And I'm not sure what.
What about you, Langston?
Yeah.
You look like you're gonna say something. So.
I'm just very interested in the ladybugs, really.
Yeah.
There's something more there, I believe.
Yeah.
That's gotta symbolize something.
Dogs don't eat ladybugs.
Yeah.
So there's some, yes. There's
My
something
dog
there.
eats bees sometimes.
Is that
That must
healthy?
hurt your dog's throat.
Sometimes. Have you had any interesting dreams like that?
Another one from my childhood. So I think it was 3rd or 6th grade. It was one of those years, I know. And we had a zoo in our backyard for some reason. And there's I was in the dream, okay, I don't know. And then, and I think so there's a zoo and there's a bunch of animals, but they're all held in place by fences we couldn't see.
Like an invisible barrier.
Like a line, but it shocked them when they tried to get
Did
out.
they have shock collars on them?
I don't know. I don't remember that detail.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe that's where my love for animals was born. So that's why I remember it, because honestly, animals are a lot better than humans. I mean, I think we can all agree on that. So I think that's why that dream was so important to me, and that's why I remember it.
So it's
now.
positively affected your life.
I think so. Or maybe negatively, because I don't get to interact with animals as much as I have to interact with people.
Got it. Izzy, why do you think you remember your dreams so well?
Maybe just because it's so abnormal. And I also woke up crying. Tears were coming down my face because I was just so sad about the ladybugs, and I was like,
Right.
Why are you doing this?
As you should be.
Yeah, I would be sad about the ladybugs too, but I know everybody does dream, but I don't remember any, if not most of my dreams, and it's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, recently I haven't either, and for some I don't know why. Again, I woke up from a dream and I was just really angry about something. I don't know why, because I don't remember what it was about.
Sometimes I find it easier to I remember my nightmares almost more than I remember my dreams.
Oh,
I feel like that makes
I agree with that.
Yeah.
If I wake up sweating, scared out of my mind, I'm gonna remember that dream a lot more than if I was floating on a cloud.
I'm floating on a cloud.
I've never floated on a cloud in my dreams, but probably.
I guess you will never know since you don't remember them.
Well,
Fair point.
Yeah. I remember one, like, I think the other interesting thing about dreams is, like, I would have, like, reoccurring dreams when I was little, or sometimes I'll have them now. And I think that almost means something more, like, if you have it over and over again. I used to have this dream, this is going to sound very weird, but I was on, like, this slide in, like, some kind of water park, not, like, some kind of fun, like, area for children. And I was on the slide, and it just never ended. And it, like, I just kept going. And
was it
like
fun?
No, it was, like, horrifying. And there was this, like, horrifying music playing, and it was not, I mean, it wasn't good.
Do you think, like, dreams generally affect your waking hours, like, the rest of your life? Like, you said that your dream about your zoo in the backyard, like, you now love animals kind of because of that dream. But, like, do you think dreams have any other effect?
I mean, they just, like, you just think about them over and over and over and over again. So then they just, like, consume a large amount of your consciousness, like, after you have them. So then already they're just affecting your life. Whether or not you, like, act out whatever feelings or activities happen in the dream, they're already affecting you.
I feel like when I do, like, remember my dreams, I do tend to, like, think about why I dreamed about it, or just, like based off of what happened, just because, I don't know, I believe, like, what you dream about is, like, based off of, like, a conflict or, like, something going on in your life that you could be, like, stuck on, or just, like, a problem that you're going through. So it's, like, your dreams kind of maybe helping you get through it, or just, like, maybe telling you something that you subconsciously that you don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I think another interesting thing is, have you guys ever heard of precognitive dreams?
Yes.
So, for those of you who don't know, precognitive dreams are dreams that you almost predict the future. So something will happen in your dream, and then either a couple days or a couple months later, that thing will happen in real life, whether or not how, like, serious or dramatic it is. And it can be really shocking, and nobody can really explain why it happens.
Yeah. I've actually had a precognitive dream. It was kind of sad. It really upset me, actually. My friend's grandmother was ill, and I dreamed that she passed away, her grandmother, and a couple days later she did. And so I didn't really, like, talk to anyone about it, because I was kind of like, well, obviously upset that she passed away, but it's like, why did I dream this, and then it happened?
Right.
Yeah. What about you, Langston?
A precognitive dream of sorts that I had, much more different scenario. Like, my brother was just serving salsa to people, like, on a hill, which makes no sense. I was like, okay, this is just what's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
But then we went to soccer camp, and then he was serving people salsa on a hill as part of the, like, culture
What?
day. So that was interesting.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Do you think that dreams can maybe be like signs of something happening in your life? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like maybe. There used to be this, like, sign in my room when I was, like, little. My mom put it in there. It was like, what you dream today is what will happen tomorrow, something like along those lines. And I don't know, it's like, it's really interesting to think about, like, because, like, why do we dream, and, like, what do we get out of it, and, like, why do we sometimes not remember what we dream about, and, like, if, like, I don't know, I just, like, know people who have had, like, really scary dreams that, like, kind of, like, have impacted them a lot, because they're, like, they also, like, don't know what it means, and it's like,
Right.
well, why did I dream, like, such a weird thing, and, like, we're all telling, like, weird stories. So I don't know, I feel like if you, like, remember it, that's, like, how it could impact you too. But, like, I don't know if, like, subconsciously it does.
Right.
Or...
Yeah, what about you?
I mean, I think our subconscious plays some sort of role in it, because at least most of the dreams you remember is some sort of pleasant. So I think, like, it's either, like, a reflection of what we want or would like to happen, but, like, probably won't happen in reality. So I think that's a way that dreams are generated.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, how it's probably not going to happen in reality. Hopefully our nightmares don't happen in reality, of course. But do you think it could sort of be like your brain creating sort of a scenario about like that you can visualize of your internal conflicts? Like sort of as a way of dealing with the problems that you're facing internally?
I know that there are like dream researchers that do spend a lot of their time trying to interpret dreams, or I know that there are really popular dreams that can happen. I read about this dream that a lot of people have had, I haven't had it, where you will dream about your teeth falling out. And it means that you're really self-conscious and that you're like scared of something going on in your life. At least that's what I've heard.
That's
And I
really
think that's really interesting, yeah.
And like that multiple people have had like the same,
Yeah.
I mean, probably not the same, but like that incident's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
But like back to like what you said, like how Izzy was talking about, like having like repeated dreams. Like if I'm like stuck on a conflict, like on anything, I tend to like think about it before I go to bed, and then I dream about it, and that happens like multiple nights in a row. And it's like the same dream keeps happening over it, and maybe it's to like help you get over it, or like you said, like show something like resolving, or just like new aspects of it.
Like I know when I apply to colleges, like I dream about like being at that college and like attending it, and then like a couple of days later I don't get those dreams anymore. But yeah, what do you think?
Like the recurring part, I think like it could be a way of like your brain like reminding you need to like deal with the conflicts. It's like a dream I had a few nights ago, like about my brother. It's like something that keeps happening, and then it like preys on my mind, and I think it's just like a reminder like I have to deal with it eventually.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of like important symbolism in dreams where they might be different for everybody, but they also might share some like unique quality, like your teeth falling out, or I'm trying to think of another one that happens frequently, or like everyone's had the dream where they're falling asleep and then they're like they feel like they're falling. And then you wake up really quickly. Like what does that mean?
Yeah,
like what kind of symbols do
I've
those-
heard like a lot about that. Like it means that or just like have you heard like the theory like whenever you die in a dream,
You die in real
die
life?
in real life?
you
Yeah.
die in your life.
Yeah.
Something
There are
like
a lot
that.
of really interesting theories about dreams that we're really unsure about. But thank you guys so much for coming on to MileHighDiscussions. Thank you, Izzy. Thank you,
Thanks for
Langston.
having us.
Yeah.
This is
Thank
a really
you.
interesting discussion.
Yeah.
And we will be back soon.
Learn what you love what you learn. Graduate debt-free from a certified program in health science, design, trades, or administration in less than a year. Opportunity comes from possibility. Come see what's possible.
Hi, and welcome back to MileHighDiscussions. We have with us one new guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name's Sophia Antonopoulos.
And where do you go to school?
I go to East with everyone here.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Next up, we're sort of going to talk about like lucid dreaming, and which, for those of you that don't know, lucid dreaming is sort of when you know that you're dreaming and you can sort of control what happens in your dreams. I've personally never experienced it, but I don't know. Have any of you guys experienced it before?
I haven't, but I know that there's a way that you can get to, or if you get to a point where you have a dream journal, or if people like to write down their dreams, I've heard that the more you write them down, the more you remember them, that the more you can know when you're dreaming, and the switch kind of turns on and you can control your dreams and lucid dream.
That's kind of cool.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, I know like whenever I'm deep sleeping, I definitely don't lucid dream at all, but like sometimes if I'm just like closing my eyes, so obviously I'm still awake a little, but I can like, I don't know, I kind of dream a little. I don't really know how to explain it. I guess it would be,
It's like half asleep, half awake.
yeah,
kind
so
of
I guess
thing.
like
Yeah.
that could maybe be considered lucid dreaming. don't
Yeah,
know.
I daydream a lot, and I can, it's like, obviously you tell when you're daydreaming, so.
Yeah. I think it definitely, it's like almost a combination of like you're fully conscious that you're dreaming, but your subconscious is still kind of controlling it in a way. I have lucid dreamed before. I used to do it a lot when I was little, and actually I read a study that said that kids are much more likely to lucid dream than adults, which I don't really know why, but it's
that's
proven.
interesting.
Yeah. So I don't do it anymore, but I used to when I was little. And I don't know, I've heard of a lot of people doing different things, but when I would lucid dream, I would like make myself fly, which was like kind of cool. I don't really know why. And part of it was like, I think my subconscious, like I wanted to do that.
Do you remember what it was like? Or, I mean, were you freaked out after, or?
Not really. It's a weird feeling because it's almost like you're in the middle of like almost like a video game kind of, because when you dream, it's like it's from your own eyes, but you're watching it like a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So lucid dreaming, I kind of just realized like where I was and what was happening, and then I could do whatever I wanted. So I remember one time I was like climbing this really tall tree. I don't really know why, but when I jumped off, I could fly. And like I just kind of told myself I wanted to do that.
Do you think there's any like underlying meaning of being able to lucid dream?
I don't think there's underlying meaning of the actual concept of lucid dreaming, but I think there's definitely underlying ideas in certain types of dreams that everyone has, which I'm sure everyone's had naked dreams or dreams of like falling or dreams of, I don't know. I've heard that a lot of people have dreams of their teeth falling out. I don't know if you guys have, but that's just what I've heard. So I think there's definitely underlying themes in what you're going through, and that can definitely happen in your dreams.
Yeah, one time I remember after like talking about it, sometimes like when I was younger, I would be like dreaming about something, and if it didn't play out the way I wanted it to, I would like go back and like start the dream over. It was kind of weird and like
Oh, that's cool.
make it the way I
That's
wanted
happened to me as well.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
cool.
kind of like that Tom Cruise movie where like you start, the day starts over or
right.
something.
Yeah.
But like if I get, like sometimes if I have, and this is terrifying, I have a nightmare, but instead of like waking up out of my nightmare, it just restarts and I try to fix what happened.
Oh my gosh,
That's really crazy.
It's
Well,
so weird.
There is a theory that says that dreams can be divided into two categories, either fears or wishes. So I think maybe lucid dreaming might fall under that category of like wishes, like you get to do what you want and you get to do whatever you want because you're in a dream.
And you like you
exactly.
get to make it up yourself.
And nightmares would fall under the like fears, or like naked dreams would fall under that, I think too.
Like since you're asleep, is it like your subconscious choosing what you want to do, or are you like, is lucid dreaming like you're consciously making these decisions, or is it like
You're consciously making these decisions, but you know what's happening. Like you know you're not really flying. You know that you're in a dream, but you understand that.
Okay. Yeah, so like maybe I don't know, just like you were saying, like your subconscious like coming out and like showing like what you want to do, so like how you were flying. And
And there's definitely psychology in dreams. I mean, I was an AP Psych, so we studied dreams for one of our kind of units and the stages of the sleep and kind of what they mean. So there's definitely a part of your subconscious that's present in the dreams that you have, and it can kind of in a way tell you about yourself, about things that you I guess didn't know. And when you're kind of in a deep sleep is I guess when you have the most dreams. And yeah,
so when you're in a really deep sleep, your body goes into something called REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. And it happens about, I think I read somewhere that it happens like 90 minutes into when you sleep. And it happens longer for like children than it does for adults. So that would kind of explain like lucid dreaming in children. But another like a really interesting thing that can happen when you're in REM sleep is if you start to wake up in REM sleep, I guess your brain can kind of get confused, and those two cycles and transitions can like overlap, and you can go into something called sleep paralysis. Have you guys heard of this? Yeah, which is really interesting.
And it can be, in a way, kind of scary. I've never experienced it before, but I know people that have, and it's common that they feel like a pressure or they can't breathe kind of while they're awake, and they can't control it or do anything about it. So it's kind of scary, and they just can't control anything in their body, but they're still, I guess, sleeping, but not really.
Yeah, I've heard some of my friends talking about how they wake up, but they can't breathe. They can't even move their eyes. They can't move their limbs or anything, but they're conscious, and they can like feel their heart like rapidly beating. Do you think that's like like you said, like when our brains, our two cycles sort of overlap, that happens? Do you think that sleep paralysis is like a fault with the way that our brains are wired, or do you think there's a reason for it?
It is, like, I think, categorized as a disease isn't the right word, but you can be diagnosed with having sleep paralysis.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing until very recently. So I think, like, more people have it more frequently, and like research has shown that it's due to like lack of sleeping patterns. So if you're on a really weird sleep schedule, you can get this, which kind of makes sense because your body doesn't really know what the normal sleep schedule is. But yeah, I've heard it can be really terrifying, and that people can like hallucinate really terrifying things.
And it kind of leads into, it's, you know, on and off your sleep cycles, like how they go on and off. It kind of leads into narcolepsy, and how people, they can't really control when they sleep or when their sleep cycles are, you know, in, I guess, equilibrium, I don't know. But they just fall asleep at like a random time and they can't control it. And it just kind of goes to show just how our sleep kind of can affect us, and like how
important it is too, just like to get the right amount, or like all these issues can occur. Like,
yeah, I saw like a video by the BBC about how this one girl, she was about our age, slept for like 30 days straight, and she goes through these periods of spending so much time sleeping or in bed, and it's not her fault. Like, I think something happened in her childhood or something that started to trigger them, but she's also somehow able to, like, she's starting to be able to control when they happen, like, slightly. So they're starting to happen less frequently, but that maybe there's something up with like the development of the brain, like needing so much more sleep. Right.
So when she slept, I mean, this period of 30 days, did she eat, or did she, I don't know.
I don't know. It blew my mind.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much that we just don't know about dreaming, and scientists still can't explain why we dream and why we sleep. So I think it's really interesting to have these conversations and compare kind of everyone's different mindsets. Well, that is it for this episode of Mile High Discussions. Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you so much, Izzy. This has been a really interesting conversation.
And thank you all for watching. We have one more episode left until our Christmas break, but be sure to stay tuned for that.
And please follow us on our social media at MileHighDiscussions.